I want to welcome Dr. Carolyn to the stage. I see you have your hand up. How are you doing? Kind of a legend.
Oh, well, yeah, kind of a legend. Hey, thanks so much, Bill, for having me. Listen, I came in partway through the space, so there's probably some stuff that I missed, but I just wanted to pop up and make sure and give my perspective on some things just based on the title of the space. For people who are unfamiliar with me, for about 4 years now, I've been doing deep dives into the radical far left. I've done everything from DEI training to college and high school classes to I essentially ended up doing undercover and investigative journalism about the radical revolutionary far left. And the reason I bring this up is because every single one of the things in the title, from gender mutilation, DEI, CRT, even abortion, they actually call it reproductive justice. It goes back to one source location, and that is the radical revolutionary far left activists in the United States today. And I just want to say a few words on them and specifically some issues that I think that people need to think about. Just so you guys know my bona fides, if anyone heard the story last year about the American Library Association president saying that libraries need to be a site of Marxist organizing, I was the person that got that. I went undercover at a socialism conference and just happened to catch her on tape saying that. Lots of other primary source evidence like that as well. But one of the things that I really want to make sure people understand, and I think is just really not discussed enough in the so-called like anti-woke space, is the idea of what the radical left really wants, because it's not actually correct to say that they want to trans the kids. It's not actually correct to say they want to groom the kids. What they actually want is so much worse than that. So the goal of the radical far left is to abolish capitalism. Now, that might seem like a gimme, right? Everyone knows socialists want to abolish capitalism, right? We all know that. But what is the specific definition that the radical far left has of capitalism? This is where it gets interesting. One of the, it was so specifically that they define it as private property ownership. There's no other definition of capitalism on the far left. It's private property ownership. A couple examples of that are going to be your ability to own a home, your ability to own land, your ability to own a private business. We all can kind of wrap our heads around that. But one of the things that I don't think people understand is that parental rights are considered to be a form of private property in the radical revolutionary far left's definition of socialism. So all of the, of capitalism rather, all of the attacks you're seeing, all of those attacks, gender mutilation, DEI, CRT, abortion, it all comes back to this concept of capitalism. And specifically when it comes in schools, the most dangerous ideology we can find right now is not actually about trans or grooming. It's queer ideology in schools. And I want to make sure people understand that queer is not about being gay. It's not about being trans. It is specifically about embracing a far left radical political ideology. And this is where the attacks on parental rights are coming from. When you see policies in schools that have things like, actually, I just infiltrated a leftist training just yesterday, and we got them on tape saying that this was actually a teacher training. They're releasing a book called Transgender Justice in Schools, and in this teacher training, I got a school teacher on tape saying that when their students come to them and tell them their names and pronouns, they very specifically ask the students, "Am I allowed to tell your parents?" So they're hiding information from parents quite aggressively. And another thing I have on tape, and you can find this in the highlights section of my Twitter account. Several months ago, I found a federally funded training that was funded by the Department of Health and Human Services, in which, and we're all paying for this, a teacher trainer taught a group of teachers that if a student goes into the classroom and writes there are only two genders on the board, that constitutes a form of harassment, and it's the teacher's obligation to discipline the students for saying that. And again, this all goes back to the radical revolutionary far left, because they consider the gender binary, which just means men and women, to be a construct of capitalism. Their goal, someone said gender equity right before this. What gender equity means for the radical far left is to abolish gender entirely. That's why we're seeing non-binary, they, them. They very literally want to abolish men and women entirely. So it's not just about getting like girls out of sports. It's not about abolishing lesbians. It's not about hurting men. I know a lot of people have those different perspectives. It's about gender as a concept entirely. What is the point of abolishing gender as a concept entirely? That targets the nuclear family. And that's really what they're looking for, because the far left believes that the nuclear family is the reproduction mechanism for capitalism in this society. And so if there's anything that I can leave people with, and I'm happy to answer questions, and if people want receipts for any of the things that I'm saying, just send me a DM. I'm more than happy to send you stuff. I don't want to take over the space or anything. I just want to make sure people know. What I would leave people with is parental rights is the issue of our time. People have got to start taking this seriously, because if parental rights falls, everything else is going to fall around it. And so I'll cede my time, and thank you for letting me speak.
Carolyn, how have we not been following each other? I just gave you a follow. That was amazing. I'm going to follow your work.
In size immediately with students who were militant and ready to fight. The popular support also extended to the city of Denver and people all across the state. They're willing to support in any way they can. They were giving us tents, they were giving us clothes, they were giving us food. They were like, we need to put ourselves on the line so we can protect the students. This really is a popular struggle.
Can I just take a moment? Can I just take a moment to tell you guys what's going on? Can I take a point of personal privilege? Can I interrupt? I apologize for tuning out there for a second. I literally have someone in my DMs right now arguing with me about whether or not queer theory is a Gnostic sex cult. And I'm trying to tell them very nicely, James Lindsay's lying to you, and I'm being so nice about it. And they're like, so you think that James Lindsay is lying because he doesn't believe what you believe? And I say, it's not what I believe. It's about what leftist training show. And this is a person with like a lot of followers. And I said, it's not what I believe. It's what leftist training show. And they say, oh, so you think James just needs to take your position? And I said, well, my position is the clear pattern of what is showing up in leftist trainings. James's position is made up bullshit and nonsense. And they go, but all of this stuff has ties back to Gnosticism. And I say, you only think that because James has lied to so many people about what's going on that everyone just takes that as a given, but it's not actually true. And here's evidence that it's not actually true. What? So you just want me to take your position? I'm like, I'm literally just telling you what the evidence shows, and I'm giving you links so that you can see the evidence for yourself. Why do you hate James? Well, James keeps insulting me to 500,000 people, and he keeps telling people I have a personality disorder. You seem really obsessed with James. No, I'm pretty sure James is the one obsessed with me, because he's the one that actually keeps making character attacks. Why are you so obsessed with James? Well, because he keeps making character attacks on me to 500,000 people. It seems like you're the one making character attacks. Well, the evidence doesn't actually bear that out, because in half of these character attacks, I am not even mentioning James. The only reason this person is even in my DMs is because I made an argument about queer theory being about abolishing the gender binary and parental rights, and that pissed off James's friends so much that they threw a fucking hissy fit on Twitter last night. How dare Carlin? Carlin is suspect. Me. I didn't even mention James. Yeah. One of the hosts. Yeah. I didn't even fucking mention James. I didn't mention any of James's friends that were sitting in the chat. I made no personal attacks. Literally all I did was say queer theory is about abolishing the gender binary and the nuclear family, which is an attack on capitalism, and parental rights are considered to be private property under capitalism. And James's friends threw a massive fucking hissy fit. And now this person seems to think that I'm the one attacking James when I didn't even fucking bring him up. Why are you saying James is lying? Because he's fucking lying. How do you know? Because I've watched thousands of hours of this bullshit. I have watched more queer Marxism than any other person on the planet, except for possibly the people in my chat who have watched it all with me. Oh yeah, you just want James to have your opinion? It's not my opinion. It's documented what comes up in these trainings over and over and over and over and over again. It's obvious this all has roots in Gnosticism. There are literally no roots in Gnosticism that are documented in any of the actual fucking real world fucking trainings. The only reason that people think that queer theory is about fucking Gnosticism is James Lindsay has lied to millions of people. To millions of fucking people. And at the same time that James Lindsay has lied to millions of people, when my community members tried to put clips of real leftist trainings in James's feed just to show people what was actually being said in real leftist trainings, James blocked them and then smeared them to his entire fucking audience. We need to re-engage with our war against James Lindsay. Because this is fucking bullshit. I did nothing last night that was unprofessional. I did nothing last night that was irresponsible. I did nothing but go into a Twitter space and accurately articulate that queer theory is about abolishing the gender binary and an attack on the nuclear family because parental rights are considered to be a form of private property under capitalism, and they think the gender binary was created by capitalism, and people need to understand this so they can actually protect their kids in fucking school. That was all that I fucking did. But no. James Lindsay's fans and James Lindsay's friends can't have anyone giving an accurate fucking definition of queer theory as long as they're around, because everyone has to think that this is a Gnostic fucking conspiracy theory to placate James Lindsay's fucking ego. I am so sick of this bullshit. I am so fucking sick of it. Why are you attacking James? I'm not attacking James. He's attacking me. Why are you obsessed with James? I'm not. He's obsessed with me. I was told that I would probably cause a disruption in future spaces, and so maybe I just shouldn't. It's just like, you know what? Fuck all of you. Honest to God. This is why I have no interest in dealing with these people at all. I had not even interacted with these people in so fucking long, and I saw a Twitter space last night. I was like, maybe we can just give it a try. Let's just see what happens. And I was completely fucking professional, and I didn't make any personal attacks on anyone. I didn't even fucking mention them. But of course, I'm the problem because James Lindsay's fans, as that Twitter space were going on, were talking shit about me in the replies to that Twitter space. They were going on their feeds and me, how dare Carlin, me. And so as soon as I got out of that Twitter space and I saw these fucking personal attacks, which I didn't even fucking make a personal attack, I responded to them and I was like, oh, I see. So you're okay with James lying and smearing me, and you have no intellectual arguments to make. And this is the thing that pisses me off the most. None of these people have any fucking intellectual arguments to make about any of the things I say. All they do is engage in personal attacks and lie and spread bullshit all over the internet. And not only are they lying about me, not only are they lying about you, not only are they lying about Reagan, not only are they lying about every fucking person who has ever shared my content that James has blocked and smeared, they're also lying to millions of people who just want answers because they just want to protect their kids. I am so fucking sick of this fucking bullshit. I am so sick of this. This is why I don't even try anymore. This is why I don't even try with these people. Because every single fucking time I try, it ends up with me getting attacked, me getting called insane, when I don't even do anything unprofessional. Yeah, I'm absolutely sure they got messages last night about the fact that they dared let me speak in their Twitter space. I am absolutely fucking positive. And they dared to say that they liked what I had to say. I am 100% positive. Why are you letting her attack James? I did it! Do you think this person in your DMs got struggle sessioned? Yup. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And you guys want to know why I don't put myself out there for this stuff? It's because, like, I'm in a place where if people are meant to find my content, they will find it. But every single fucking time I put myself out there for this stuff, I get attacked, I get smeared, I get called all sorts of names. People post horrible things about me online. Literally, all I'm trying to do is show people what is going on in leftist trainings. That's it. But no, we can't do that because James has to have all the attention and James has to have it his way. And James cannot be contradicted at all. And James is not capable of taking in new evidence and assimilating it to his worldview. And James has to have the final say over fucking everything. And James will tell you who you can platform and who you can't platform. And James will tell you what ideas you can consider and what ideas you can't. And if you go against James, not only are you going to get hit on your ass and he's going to block you and smear you to 500,000 fucking people, you're also going to get all his fucking cultists that don't understand what the fuck they're talking about. They're going to do exactly the same fucking thing. Not a single one of these people has ever watched the amount of queer Marxist training that we've watched on this channel. Not a single one of these people has ever watched the Abolish the Family stuff that we've done on this channel. Not a single one of these people can accurately and simply explain these things to parents in a way they can understand. Not a single one of these people have done anything, but they'll go and fucking attack you if you dare speak up in a fucking Twitter space. I am so sick of this bullshit. I can't even stand it. So, I didn't expect to quite have that many feelings about this. That was a lot. That was a little bit of a go off. It's a little bit of a go off. It's a little bit of a go off. I don't even know what I would say to Nick on a Twitter space right now, to be honest. I don't even know what I would say. I might not have anything to say. That's a different thing. Conservatives are so fucking weak. Yeah, weak-willed cucks. Yep, they are. Yep. Alex, for the beer, the throat lozenge, so you can make it through Socialism Saturday. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Hey, we met the super chat goal. All that was required to meet the super chat goal was for me to yell for 5 minutes about something that none of us can control. You know, I could have gone into that space and I could have made personal attacks. Logan Lansing and Lisa Logan were right there. I could have made personal attacks, but I would never do that in someone else's Twitter space. I would never disrupt what someone else is doing to make personal attacks. I have my own fucking Twitter feed. I can say whatever the fuck I want on a Twitter feed. I have literally never been anything but respectful when I'm in other people's spaces. They're the ones that turn this into a personal attack. They're the ones that turned educating parents into a fucking competition for likes and fucking retweets. They're the ones who are spreading bullshit Oprah, Gnostic, WEF, worldwide globalist, fucking new age, fucking conspiracy theories and lying to millions of people and saying things that are not remotely hinged into reality. And they're the ones that are not able to watch leftist trainings and actually understand it, even though they claim to be experts in this. Well, this is a good point, Angel Eyes. Yuri Bezmenov did say, even if the truth is right in front of their face, they won't believe it. James is going to get people's kids taken away. Yeah. The reason I stood out so much in that Twitter space is I was the only one who fucking knew anything. that I heard. That's why I stood out. That's why I got a good reception. And I'll tell you what, too. I knew that they were going to bring James on their Twitter space next week. Was I going to go cause any shit? No, of course not. I would never disrespect someone else's space like that. Because James might like to lie and tell people I'm a narcissist, but I actually care more about teaching people this information than I do about fucking punking James on a Twitter space. I have never attacked James until he has attacked me and until he has attacked people in my community. But if I'm smeared to 500,000 people on Twitter, you think I'm not going to respond? When James Lindsay photoshops evidence claiming that no one watches my streams, you think I'm not going to respond? When James Lindsay tells people that I'm in a Gnostic sex cult, which he literally did, you think I'm not going to respond? When James Lindsay tells people to block people like Reagan for teaching what queer theory is and said, this is all part of an organized campaign against me. Yeah, James, we talk. We're in a community. You think I'm going to keep quiet when James is smearing people and lying to them? Here's my treat to the person who is an expert on these things, all backed up with contemporary literature. Yeah. Yep. And the fact is, and let's just be very clear about this, in all of the attacks that James Lindsay has ever made on me, he has never once made an intellectual argument. Literally never once made an intellectual argument to combat my ideas and our ideas. Do you know why he's never made an intellectual argument? He can't. And this is why I am unapologetic about saying James is lying. James is lying. There is no universe in which James Lindsay does not understand that all of this stuff is an attack on capitalism, which is defined as private property ownership, private property being your home, your land, your business, your businesses, your apartment rentals, your intellectual property, your parental rights, your individual liberties. There is no universe in which James Lindsay does not understand that queer theory is an attack on capitalism, because literally every fucking queer theory training says it. Every queer theory training says it. Every fucking piece of literature says it. Don't tell me that James is telling the truth when he refuses to tell people that queer theory is an attack on capitalism because they believe that parental rights are a form of capitalism. They're trying to abolish parental rights to get at the nuclear family because they consider the nuclear family to be the reproduction house of fucking capitalism. Every single person in my audience can explain this. 0 people in James's audience can explain this because James will not tell them. James Liar is too lazy to watch real DEI, Marxists and socialists and communists in real time, as in the now, and is stuck in the past. James Lindsay can't move on to respect. Yeah, that's exactly right. Hey, thanks for the super chat. I will say James will cause the trans Floyd event. It only takes a low information Bible thumper to act on James Lindsay's Gnostic Lucification BS. Fight me, James Lindsay stands. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel the same about it. Well, I want to thank people who made it to the end. I want to thank people who endured my yelling just then. I needed to work out some feelings. All right. I'm just so sick of this bullshit. I'm just so sick of it. It's just like, I don't know why this is so difficult. I don't know why it is so difficult to say, just look at the video. You're a narcissist. Well, I don't think that's true, but even if I am, just look at the video. Why would I take your word for it? You're literally not. Just look at the video. I'm not going to watch anything you post. This has been every fucking day of my life. Because James Lindsay has lied to so many people. And I'm like, literally all I do is have leftist training videos. That's it. That's it. Why do you hate James? Because James is lying to people. See, I wasn't there for their part. I didn't hear their part. You had a better reception than both the Logans on that space last night. I know because I'm better than them. And that's why I'm sure they were in that guy's DMs complaining about me. That's why they all took to their feet. Me, how dare she? How dare she show us up? Me. My work is better. It's always been better. I didn't know it until probably 8 months ago, but my work is better. It's always been better. It's always been more accurate. It's always been more effective at teaching people. It's universally always been better. And that's why they have to constantly smear me. And that's why they have to constantly lie to people about what we're doing. And I don't know how to do what Nick is doing. I don't know how to get people to spread my stuff out there like the Groypers spread Nick's stuff out there. I don't know how to do that. I don't know. I don't know if it's even possible because people are so much more passionate about like the Jewish stuff than they are about the far left stuff. Like not the real far left. Like people are really passionate about all the bullshit and like the libs of TikTok clickbait bullshit, but they're not passionate about the real stuff. And like that's actually the thing that's going to fuck us all over. But no one wants to talk about it. And I just don't know what to do. And I feel like we've tried so many times. And I feel like we've had really good bursts of energy, right? Like when we first started going after James Lindsay to try to get him to say capitalism, when we took over his podcast premiere, like we've had success. But I just don't know how we can. I just don't like. I can't do this. I feel like, and I know I'm not on my own, and I know so many of you support me, and so I'm like, what I'm going to say might sound a little selfish. I don't want anyone to think I don't appreciate them, but like, I oftentimes feel like I'm pushing a giant boulder up the hill by myself, and not only am I pushing it up the hill by myself, but I have all these fucking accounts, all these fucking big name people throwing shit at me and lying about me and all this shit. And I'm like, I literally just want you to look at the video. Just look at the fucking video. Can you stop talking and just look at the video? And then they say, you're a narcissist and you just want your ideas above everyone else and me. And I'm just like, can you just please shut the fuck up and look at the video? Why are you telling me to shut the fuck up? You're a narcissist. You must think a lot of yourself. You have personality. It's like every god damn day. And I constantly feel and like I have so much I want to do. I have so many ideas. I have so many fucking ideas. And then I sit down to do them and I'm just like it's so exhausting. And I feel like no matter what I do, and no matter how much stuff I put out there, no matter how many clips I make, no matter how many articles I write, no matter how many clips you guys make, no matter how much we document, I've always known that what I'm doing is more for history than for right now, and I get that. I really do. But it's like, it's just never fucking good enough. And it's just always the same thing every day. Why are you attacking James? I'm not attacking James. He's attacking me. Why are you doing this? Why are you don't you know this is all Gnostic? It's really not Gnostic. And I can show you documentation of that. I'm not looking at what you have to say. You're a narcissist. It's like every goddamn day. Here's a picture of you looking fat and ugly. Here's a Photoshop picture of you looking really fat and ugly. Don't you know you're fat and ugly? Why are you even on the internet? Why are you attacking? Like, every fucking day. Every fucking day. No one ever asked James why he won't have an intellectual discussion. No one ever asked James why he's photoshopping things and sending them out to 500,000 people attacking me. No one ever asked James why he's amplifying people who have been stalking me for years, literally stalking me. No one asked James why he's attacking people like Reagan, who are literally just posting a definition of queer theory and telling his 500,000 followers to block her and not listen to her. No one ever asked James why he's amplifying Lisa Logan's insane theory that Oprah is behind a globalist goddamn conspiracy theory. Oh, but John Morgan writes a fan fiction where James has a bit part for fun, and that's like the end of the goddamn world. After being attacked resoundingly for months and months and months, John Morgan writes a fan fiction in which James Lindsay gets whipped until he says whiteness is capitalism and then burned alive for fun that was just for my community that no one else even cared about. And James had a massive hissy fit about that. So John Morgan and I, by proxy, are the fucking evil ones in this situation. When James is lying to millions of people, no one gives a flying fuck about that. But John Morgan writes a fan fiction that's just for my community, and oh god, the world comes crashing fucking down. Anyway, I know I'm just complaining at this point, but like, I don't know what to do.